Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. I'm going to be making a white chicken pizza. I'm tired, I'm dirty, I'm kind of stinky, but we have friends coming over to eat dinner with us, and I wanted to share this with you because I've never done this recipe before and done a video for it. This is so stinking good, although the ingredients are relatively simple. Just the combination of them together is really, really nice. Now, I've done several videos on different kinds of pizza. We'll try to link those in the description, but this one is special, and I think you'll see why. I have my skillet heating up right now. I have most of my ingredients out, chopped. Everything's ready to go, so it won't take me so long. That's half the battle, is just getting things ready. 2 tablespoons of butter in my skillet. I just got back from walking the dogs. My husband's fixing to walk in. I had to text him and say I'm videoing, so he won't walk in and go, "Oh, I didn't know," because he doesn't know until he walks in and sees me doing it. Okay, hot skillet, 2 tablespoons of butter. I have about 3 green onions, just the top green part chopped up. We're going to put those in there, saute those in the butter, along with about 8 ounces of mushrooms. Now these are mushrooms fresh mushrooms I bought, chopped them up, put them in the freezer, so I took out about 8 ounces of that. Those are still a little bit frozen. You can see the ice crystals on there, but we're going to put those in there. They're perfectly fine to use like this, and it's a way to have fresh mushrooms for things, especially when they go on sale and you kind of want to nab as many as you can, but still be able to use them later because they're pretty perishable. Those cold mushrooms kind of cooled my skillet down, so it'll take a little bit longer now, so I'm sure my husband will speed up the video so you won't have to just sit there and watch me stir this. I'm going to be using 3/4 of a cup of white wine. This is just a bottle of wine from Costco. I trust my friend when she tells me it's a good one because I have no clue. That is not my bag of knowledge right there. I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on 425, get it preheating. I have my pizza stone in the bottom. That's where we always cook our pizza from, is the very bottom of the oven. Not even the bottom rack, the bottom of the oven, and I lay that pizza stone on it. It is beautiful outside today. I've been outside harvesting sweet potatoes just in my backyard. I still have the front yard to go because I have some big tubs of sweet potatoes in them. You can just see the greenery of them, of course, in the big pots, but there's sweet potatoes in there, and I'm so excited when I find one. It's like searching for treasure. Okay, we're going to pour our white wine in and let it reduce to about half, so that'll take just a few minutes. We're going to use a teaspoon of cornstarch, and half cup of heavy cream, we're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of dried basil, and this is just the basil that I dry from my yard that I grew. We also need about 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley flakes. Okay, this looks close to being reduced by about half. We're going to go ahead and add our cornstarch mixed with our heavy cream. And make sure it doesn't have any lumps in there. This will come to a boil and it'll slowly start to thicken, and that's when we want to take it off the heat. make sure it gets plenty thick, because if you put it on there at this runny, your sauce is just going to run off your crust. So wouldn't be very helpful doing that. If you're wondering what I'm laughing at, my husband pulled in the garage. I just texted him and said I'm videoing, so he's already on his way home. He pulls in the garage, and he sits there for long enough where he gets probably annoyed because he's not getting to come in. So he went from the garage into the sunroom, opened the door, and let the dogs out in there. So I'm laughing because they're thinking, Daddy, where'd you come from? Okay, now don't keep on cooking your cornstarch, because as I've said in previous videos, if you've watched these videos for very long at all, cornstarch gets that thickening capability, but once it gets to a certain point, it starts losing it again, and it'll just render itself totally useless. It'll go liquid again. So once it gets thick, just take it off the burner and let it start cooling down. We'll now go over and roll out our dough and assemble our pizza. Okay, back over here on this side, I'm just going to do a review of what we do with our pizza and how we actually get it in the oven from this pizza peel. So we're going to take our pizza peel, handle away from you, put a clean kitchen towel. This is one that I use just for bread products, really, mainly. It's not a hand drying towel. Let it hang off the end of it, opposite of the handle, and put the excess fabric up toward the handle, just for the time being. Here's my dough. I keep it in a bag. I make it up way ahead of time, and it is fabulous if it stays in the refrigerator. I don't know what makes it so much better when it's in the fridge like that for any length of time. This has probably been in there for at least a week. So I just keep it in a bag rolled up, and I have very little yeast in that. All right, I'm going to get some flour on this so we can roll it out. Basically, I just dunk it in my flour container. When it's in the refrigerator for that long, the dough has relaxed so much that it doesn't have a tendency to keep drawing back up, and that's what I like about this method. Plus, you always have pizza crust or pizza dough ready in the fridge if guests happen to come by, or you think, oh, I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner, and then you think, you know what, I got pizza dough, let's just make a pizza. It's easy enough. If you watched my earlier videos, you know this is not a burden to make at all. My oven is apparently preheated because I just heard the buzzer go off. I'm just eyeballing it, making sure I have it at least as large of a circumference as my pizza peel. You can always turn the edges under if it's a lot bigger than what you want. This is pretty easy to handle. I'm not using trick photography, obviously. It's just that easy to handle. It doesn't get holes poked in it when you handle it. It doesn't fall apart. It's just a really relaxed dough. All right, I'm going to turn these edges under all the way around just a bit. More than anything, it just makes a little edge to it so the sauce doesn't run off. Keep getting my pocket hung on my cabinet down there. All right, with this particular pizza, we're going to put a little bit of our mozzarella on the bottom, not a lot of it, not even half. And I've just sliced this in chunks. This is whole milk mozzarella. You can use the regular low-fat mozzarella. Just please, please, please do not use pre-shredded. It's just not going to give you a really good product like we want. The pre-shredded has cellulose coating on it, and it just prevents it from being like fresh cheese should. And the whole milk mozzarella, if you'll look near the Mexican cheese, I can't remember what it's called, but sometimes it's near that in our big store. But it comes in a 16-ounce block, and it is delightful. All right, going to pour our sauce on the top. I get my spatula here. Could hold it this way so you can see better. I just can't see what I'm doing when I do it that way, but that's okay. Take it almost to the edge, but not quite. All right, next thing we're going to do is, I think we put our chicken on next. Let me look at my recipe first. We're going to put our chicken on next. This is about 2 cups of just cooked cubed chicken. I made creamy chicken enchiladas the other day, and I reserved about 2 cups of the chicken so I could have for this pizza. And that's what we're going to be using. Then we're going to top with our remaining mozzarella. The whole milk mozzarella is really, really soft. It's not as near as sturdy and rigid as the other blocks of mozzarella that's low fat. So I normally just take a big giant chef's knife and slice it as thinly as I can and just put it on here like fitting tiles on a floor or something. Just put it in there like puzzle pieces. Now, if you don't put the fabric on your pizza peel like this, good luck on getting it in the oven because that dough is really soft and the ingredients on top are pretty runny. But this way seems to work better than any method I've ever tried. But my best advice is just keep practicing until you figure out how to get it in the oven like that. but I think it's worth it if you'll just try it. Okay, I have some yellow bell pepper, sweet bell pepper, and some cherry tomatoes that I've chopped up. We're going to put those on the top, mainly for color, but it does give it a little bit of flavor too. I think it's nice. Of course, I could just eat a pepper like it's candy. When I was a kid, I thought anything that had the word pepper in it, or just the word pepper, meant it was hot. And I had relatives try to trick me into eating peppers when I was a kid, and I was traumatized by it, I guess, because I didn't want anything to do with it. Then when I figured out how good red, orange, and yellow bell peppers are, oh my goodness, I couldn't stop eating the things. Okay, make sure they're all stuck on there really good so they don't fall off when we're transferring it into the oven. And I don't know how well you can see this. I'm going to turn this around like this. So hopefully you can see how I put this in the oven. I don't know how well that camera will do, but we'll give it a shot. All right, again, our oven's preheated. And this is what our pizza looks like before it goes in. I'm going to grab the fabric, put it all the way to the back of the oven. I'm pulling the fabric as I'm pulling the pizza peel, and it goes right on there. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, let's get the oven closed and get this thing baking. I think we're supposed to cook it, let me see, for 15 minutes. I'm going to set our timer for 13 minutes, and we'll check it after that. Then we'll come right back. Okay, our pizza's been in for close to 15 minutes, and it looks like it's ready to come out, so let's turn the oven off and get it out. Here we got our pizza peel and a pair of tongs. Okay, I hope you got a look at that, how we got it off there. This is what our pizza looks like. I'm gonna let this rest just a bit. We're gonna slice it. I'll call my neighbors and let them know they can come over now, because I told them to hold off. I can't answer the door when I'm doing this. So I'll get some pictures of it once we slice it, show you what the plate looks like. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. If you want the recipe for this, it's in the description. And along with some other videos, we hope to tag onto this too for showing you how to make other kinds of pizza. Enjoy!